Jesse over here at Epic Guitar Instruction. How you doing? We're going to learn a fun one today. Actually, we're going to learn a couple. And what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze these guys into a nice little fun lesson that you can have at home. And we're going to talk about Chitlin Carney and Dirty Pool. The great thing about these, not only did I learn a lot from them, but we're talking about themes and really quick sections that we can learn and teach you how to jam and improvise at home. So we don't have to worry about playing the whole song note for note. What we're going to do is get all the good stuff and make sure that we can play the song and jam out at home. Have some fun. So with Dirty Pool, we're going to be in D minor pentatonic. And of course, in typical Stevie tradition, he's typically down a half step. We're in standard tuning. I think that's pretty important to mention. But it'll be all good, and we'll have all our key points in there as we go. So let's take a look at this. We're going to start off by doing a tremolo technique that fans across the whole guitar. We lead in with a classic bend, and then we're going to go into this. Now, I use my first finger for this, and I'm going to discuss a few ways that we can achieve being able to do this comfortably and not feel like, you know, we're straining too hard with our right arm or anything like this. It was this song that I learned how to do this technique from. Now, Stevie would use a bigger pick than this. I've got a Jazz 3. I think he used Fender Mediums or something. But he would turn it, and he would use the rounder part as more of the attack part of the string. So for you people out there that don't want to use the index finger as I was doing a moment ago, what you can do, because you'll have less abrasiveness or less of a point attacking the string, you can use the back part of the pick. So we're going to go like this. And you can see it's a much softer approach as we go through everything. But what's really cool about this is I'm just right on this part of it. I'm really, really soft. I've actually kind of turned my hand a little bit, and I'm getting it out so I'm focusing more on these higher strings. So let me just kind of almost emulate this slow. Like, this is the positioning of my hand as I start to tremolo. Now, if you pan back a little bit, you can see that between my wrist and my elbow, it's pretty stationary, right? Like, I'm not going like this with my hand to force it to happen. That's a really important part. It's very much a kind of relaxed, you don't want to bend your wrist or torque it out too much kind of a thing. But, you know, with that being said, you're going to find ways that are comfortable for yourself. Everybody does a little bit different. I'm going to turn the guitar down. The attack got a little strong. So, really soft, and now this is using a pick. Now, over the years for me, to be honest, I used to do a really horrible trick back in the day when you could smoke in bars, and I would put the cigarette like this, backwards, and I would go like this and make it spark against the guitar. So that's how I started using my first finger.
Fancy!
Fancy and gross all at the same time. And we don't promote these things. These are lifestyle choices that we change over life, right, as we go through things. But that's why I got into doing it this way, because I could hold things in this hand. But now as I go like this is what's most comfortable for me. Now, my first finger, the nail doesn't grow, and I've killed all the nerves on it. And, you know, I'm treating it just like this, but I'm on a D minor chord. Now I'm going to go down to a G minor, because that's going to act as your fourth. And you have your D minor. A minor. And you're back up to D minor. So the way the song kicks off, you're going to get into that bend. And it goes on like this. We're going to stop and do a double stop melody. Now what's cool about that is, of course, this is 10, 12, 13, 12, 10. Raking with an up strum. Now I'm going to do the bend again. Down to my G. What's nice about this song is he sticks to some really classic sounding runs that I can kind of generalize over the 1, the 4, and the 5 chord. When we get into these kind of sounds with some of his licks, right, some of those, that's basically a little ism we're going to kind of use over and over again. I'm going on the 3rd fret to the 5th fret. I'm going to hammer on and pull off the 4th fret. I'm going to jump over in a pentatonic minor format, I'm thinking, on the 6th fret, 2nd string, going back to the high E. I would work on that as one little solo simple thing. Right? it's a really good lead in. This lick, throw this in, you're in there. Right? Any variation within that. Anything that you're comfortable doing will totally work as long as you stay within the duration of the measure. So then we're going to go back up to the D. Now, some pinky embellishments, right? As we keep this guy going. We're on 12. We're up to 13. Go back. Why does this remind me of The Godfather? I don't know why. It just kind of does. Right? Then we go down to the 5. Right? Same lick in both places. We're all good. Right? However we want to think about that. It's a cool way to go through it. I mean, really, I think, like I said, we're going to sum up a couple in this. It's a slow blues in D. You know, as you work on your soloing and you get comfortable with these things, there's certain techniques that pop up and they're kind of tricky. And I think it's just important to talk about that tremolo technique with chords more than anything else, and how you can achieve that and work it in a minor bar chord format with doing kind of more of an upper extension, not a full chord, using simple Stevie kind of sounds, right? Licks that we would hear, and you're kind of in the wheelhouse there, and you can get that feeling and be inspired by the way of that record sounds. So we're going to break that one down to be just that. And I'm going to take this point to say, when it comes to soloing, you know, and you need a little bit of help beyond what the videos are, we have a really cool link down there in the text box that you can use to aid and benefit in doing so. It has all the pentatonic scales broken up into it, has all kinds of different scale shapes broken up into it. It goes pretty in depth with soloing, and it's all free, and it'll get you started from a beginner level, intermediate, advanced, whatever. It's all this great information just in one place. And it's by clicking that link that you see below in the YouTube text box, ebook, video, all kinds of cool diagrams, get you started with soloing. It'll go great with this video. So we have this played in D minor pentatonic. We're going to switch gears, talk about a song called Chitlin Carney, everybody. And this one's going to be fun. We're going to go to the key of C with this. We're going to work in C minor, and here we go. The idea is that we're thinking of kind of the oddball tunes today that we can still learn a lot from, and still have tons of great live footage of him playing and get all these really neat techniques. We're looking for good techniques. So Chitlin Carney sounds like this. Pretty cool little theme, and I chose this by the way that it's played. So we're going to think of octave chords, and I'm going to brush them with my thumb. I'm going to play my octaves with my pinky. So I have my first finger on the 6th string, and this is on the 4th string. This is 8 and 10. Now notice as I brush with my thumb, turn this way for everybody, hitting only these strings here, and lifting and releasing so I don't have, so I can stop my notes. Blues is reverb, I swim in it, we can hear it play on, it sounds really nice. Now from here, I'm going to go to the 6th fret, and I'm going to go back to the 8th fret. So you can see I went to the 8th fret, just jumping down to the 5th string. So I have boom, boom. That's going to be 9 to 10. We're getting jazzy with the Stevie effect today. We're hitting 8 back to 6, sliding out. So we have and that's how we finish that riff there. So hit that. That's just going to be like that. We can maybe go if we want to, but we're going to think mainly our first finger hitting on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string on the 8th fret. I'm going to upstrum that with my first finger. I'm going to stop it. I can go like that as well. Get a little bit of a different tone when I have the E flat in the bass, but it's all fun. Now, what this taught me was how to use the pentatonic scale with octaves, really. I mean, let's step away from the song a little bit and get a little bit of knowledge in here so we can use this to jam along with it, Again, we're establishing a theme so you can play along. When we get to that next part where we have that was really what taught me to view the pentatonic scale in a different way. Here's the back half of the riff slow. Now I'm going to slide up 8 to 10, and I'm going to hit the octave here next. Then I'm going to go just like that. So that's cool to practice. Little tremolo pick there. Just hitting the root notes. So, how we're going to kick this thing off. Little melody there, thinking pentatonic. Now, I chose this as well because you can be jazzy in orientation by using your pentatonic scale in approach. And that's what's nice about this. We have a quick... It's the idea, right? We're coming down the pentatonic scale. It's really good when I learned early on that I'll never sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan, no matter how much I play the licks. But it's fun because I can get close. Right? Fun licks that you hear in this song. He'll slide in. Right? That's in this song. We love that. I mean, that's so cool. I learned that from the song too as well. It's just obscure and obnoxious. F right here. Octave, F sharp octave. Everybody knows this arpeggio from the song. Such a good little walk up, right? Another little tidbit to the song. We're focusing on the themes of the song that if you get them in your playing, people are going to go, oh, he really listened to the song. He got all the cool parts. 10, 9, 7, 8, 9, 8. That's your melody. And if you listen to the song, he goes... And then he goes into a lick. But that's all you need. That's all you need. Right? Whatever you want to do, and you're going to get right in that wheelhouse. Things that I learned from this song that were also really, really cool was how he would do his rake effect. And we get this. I'm going to turn this way. This is basically a C minor chord. I'm going down, 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 up. And I'm going to go up to 15. I'm going to use the blues note. These are licks that I learned from this song. Switching third finger to the 10th fret. A lot of times I notice with Stevie Ray Vaughan that it's like you look at the licks and you're like, I know that lick. It doesn't sound like that when I play it. I mean, that's pretty much the bulk of what happens when we look at some of his playing style. I mean, for real, it's so in the hands, right? But the theme and the idea is all we're really looking for, because you can do it too at home. That's the biggest thing. You're with the idea and the concept of this one is you're learning 2 cool Stevie songs in one little segment, and what you're getting out of it is the theme and the rough idea of what he did to take it on as your own. That's the best way to tackle artists like Stevie, some songs by Jimmy, and some of these other people, where it takes the pressure off of learning something note for note. You take all the good stuff and it becomes yours. So I think I'm going to play this out a little bit. I'm going to jam it. I hope you dig this. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave us a comment, right? All the things that we like to hear back from you, put it in that text box below, or in your comment box, I should say, and we would like to hear any suggestions that you have for songs in the future. I'm going to play through this. I'm going to be nice and mellow and jazzy, make some ugly faces. Epic Guitar Instruction. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.